Hey guys, it's me, my face, and a little teeny update. Today's happy dance is brought to us by Peach and Pear Stop and Shop Seltzer. I don't know, it's what I had. But it's served up in the Wicked Awesome Stitching Weekend mug. It's coming up. It's coming up. I kind of sort of have notes. Sort of. All right, first off, if you're new here, my name is Andrea, and this is a channel about cross-stitching and anything else I feel like. You've been warned. If you're a returning visitor, you know all that. I'm going to jump right into the stitching. I have not done a lot, but I've done a lot. As you may remember the past couple of years, I go way overboard when it comes to the smalls exchange at the retreat. And so I have spent most of my stitching time working on my small. I'm considering just showing it. I know I want to because I'm really proud of it, but maybe in the next video. But I'm having a little trouble. The instructions say to like put your thing in a gift bag or wrap it so that it kind of says what's in there. It's like if it's Halloween or if it's Christmas or it's, you know. Mine doesn't have a theme. It's more of, think of like a main street, kind of like the tiny towns. Like that. How would you wrap that to say, like a tiny town in here? Give me your ideas, because I don't have any. I keep wandering around looking for gift bags that have Americana towns on them. No. It's going to come down to I'm going to have to make it myself. Anyway, so I have spent a lot of time working on that, and it is finally complete. I just have to throw in a little candy, and it's all done. So yeah, so I have pushed off a lot of other stitching. What I haven't pushed off is some more designing. So we will get to that last. So let's just start with what I've worked on. The first thing I've been working on, and this is actually a restart, you picked. Overwhelmingly, people voted for the, overwhelmingly, people voted to start the Rovaris, The Witch is In. And this was in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, fall 22. Now, what I had asked was which one of these smalls should I start? Why didn't I pick a small? Like, why did I say, hey, let's do that? I didn't pay attention. This is not a small. This is not a small. I like it. I'm glad it won. But I was going to do it over one so that I would just end up with something wee and cute and, you know, something I can just put out at Halloween and whatnot. This is not that. This is not that. I started it on, I think this is 28. No, it's 32 count linen. I started at 1/1 on this linen. And the color I chose was 4522. It is a variegated DMC. And I hated it. I hated it. Less than 100 stitches in. And I knew I hated it. So I took it out. I cut off a bigger piece. I went 2/2. And I love the coverage. I love how it's coming out. But she's ginormous. She's ginormous. This isn't a pillow. This isn't going to be, if it's going to be a pillow, I'm going to put it on the bed because this is a big pillow. But I do like it. I am glad it won. And probably, I think we all know that I will be doing the other ones that didn't win anyway. But this is the one I started twice, and this is the one that I shall finish, hopefully by Halloween. I won't call that a goal. It's more of a thing I just said out loud and probably didn't think it through. Is anyone else having terrible allergies right now? Because my allergies are like... I take fexofenadine every day, year-round, and yet this time of year, it doesn't even put a dent in it. Not a dent. Andrea, you could go to a doctor. I could. I'd have to leave the house for that. Anyway, the next thing that I worked on is Templar's Prophecy. This is from Long Dog Samplers, and I have made some progress. First of all, and this was also something that I asked everybody what they thought, and they gave me good advice. I decided what to do with the swan. I decided to make it ripply so that it looked like the swan was behind the banner and not just sitting flat on top of it. I also decided to do his little plume here in the same green. And what is that green? That green is steamed broccoli, Classic Colorworks. What I didn't do is I got ahead of myself and I did this, not realizing it was another plume, and I didn't do that in green. And you know what? I'm not going to. It'll be fine. There will be plenty of other things. My goal down here was to kind of balance off the green. If I should have a picture. If I have one handy, I'll put it up. To balance off the green that I used up in the dragon. You know, so it's a little balanced. It's not going to be very balanced. And you know what? I don't care anymore. Can you hear me? I don't care anymore. I have overthought these long dogs to the point of hating them. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to work on them. I'm going to do them. I'm going to put colors where I feel like it. And if all the colors end up in one little corner, that's what happened. That's what happened. So I just got a little lost looking at it because it is so cool. I mean, it is just so cool. And it's so finishable. If I worked on this daily for like between now and the end of the year, I usually do about 200 stitches in a quick sit down, like when I'm not doing like a whole day of stitching. And I could do that. I think there were I'm not going to do the math here. I would like to have this finished by the end of the year. That's the end of the sentence. The next thing I worked on was actually a sneak peek from last time. I finished the shop model. This is the Albanian alphabet sampler. We have thousands of English language samplers. I think we need an Albanian one. It's just a little different. It's certainly not a complete, I don't want to say the word foreign, but it is. I mean, it's not a completely foreign thing. It, you know, until you get to a couple of these double letters, there's no difference. But I thought it was cool. And the way that I found this or made it was I actually went to like school supplies for like their kindergarten. And they had the sign up on the wall with the letters and then what they start with, although I could not read a darn thing. But that's where I got it from. So that is in the Etsy shop. Andrea, why'd you pick the Albanian sampler? I'm half Albanian. That's pretty much where we are. Both of my parents were actually first generation born in the U.S. My mother's parents immigrated from Albania. My father's family came from Ireland. Yeah, it's a little... It was great. Okay. It worked out fine. So I wanted to do something, I mean, like, immigration is not a topic right now. Like, it really is. And I thought that this was maybe a good chance for me to say, because I grew up in a household that we didn't necessarily speak Albanian constantly, but Albanian was spoken. And I know up until the time I was like probably 6 when my grandmother passed away, I could understand it. I wasn't a speaker or a reader for it, but I could understand it. And that I have lost completely. So I thought this was a good chance to say that we all have the right to defend, not defend, to retain our heritage and our customs and our ways, so long as that's not getting in the way of other people doing their thing. So yeah, I think if I were at the point, old to be starting a family, but if I had started a family, I think I would have done like immersion in languages all along, because children can learn multiple languages at the same time and not have confusion. And it's something that we should be keeping alive. So that's my cultural contribution to the cross-stitch world as of today. I think that's my entire soapbox for today. Without starting something. I actually got a notification early this morning that ICE had pulled over somebody not far from my house, and people were reporting that, it appeared like they were just plucking them out of the car. I don't know what the circumstance was. I don't know who these people were. I don't know. Okay, this will be my last thing. Nobody's life should be endangered due to a lack of paperwork. There we go. I haven't done any Stitchy haul. I think I do have tickets to next weekend's Fall Fling, Fall Chuck, Fall. I don't know. Stephanie at Lindy Stitches is running it, and therefore I am in. Say less. I take my money. So I have signed up for that. Hopefully this time I'm more in the mood to participate than I was last time. It didn't end up being a waste. I got what I paid for. But I was not in the right place for that. So I've signed up for that. I'm getting ready for the Stitch New England beginning of October. I did invest in something. Speaking of Stephanie, Lindy Stitches, I have, since I got my Lowry stand, not been able to do a good job of getting it to hold Q-snaps. I've done the grippy stuff. I've done the felt. I've done the things. I tried to find somebody who could 3D print that little block thing that I didn't. And so I found myself a lot of the time just not using it, or choosing not to stitch on things that are in Q-snaps when I'm going to stitch down there, which was putting a dent in my what am I going to stitch on. So I finally broke down and I got the corner unit. Now I've had this stand, I want to say, maybe almost 7-8 years. I'm just getting around to this. The corner clamp costs as much as the whole stand. And I get it. It's a feat of engineering and there's welding and the whole thing, but I could never justify paying for the stand all over again, basically, in the corner clamp. I bought the corner clamp. I bought it from Lindy Stitches because I knew that I was going to get a fair price. They include the shipping, so I wasn't going to have to play around with that. And I knew, Stephanie's somebody you can count on. If it showed up and there was something wrong, she'd drive to my house and fix it. She would. And she'd be welcome to. I would make her coffee. So I did do that for myself. And I will say it makes a huge difference in stitching in my stitchy spot with the Lowry. Not having to balance things on my knees. I wish I had done it actually when I was still working on Hawk Run Hollow, because that was a big piece and it was kind of unwieldy, and it would have been great to be able to put it in the stand for that. I do have that extender dealie. That is horrible. I whack my hands on that thing all the time. So it's in a storage bin somewhere. But definitely, if you've been thinking about getting the corner clamp, I am definitely finding it worth it. I don't believe I have worked on anything else or created anything else stitchy. I have started to Halloween the house, taking a new approach this year. I want to have very few Halloween decorations. Hold on. I want things that match my style and my aesthetic out year round. But I don't want to have like a jack-o'-lantern out all year round. So I am curating from my bins things that can stay out, candelabras and stackable books and cats, things like that. Things that I can put around my house and have them have a permanent home. And when Halloween's over, they can stay out. I will throw some garland over them, and they will now be Christmas. There's no reason to do this whole house overhaul inside when everything... I want it out. I want to be able to look at it in May. I want to be able to look at it in February. So that is my approach this year. And then hopefully I can get rid of a lot of stuff that I just don't have space for. Hopefully. My other thing is, usually we do a lot of lighting outside. We do skeletons and things like that. And I'm still going to do that. But I think instead of my kind of weird swirly lighting outside, I think the theme is going to be fire. I have these, and I will show them, solar lights that go on by themselves at night, turn themselves off, and they look like fire lanterns. And so I don't see any reason why that wouldn't look really cool all over the yard. All over the yard. So I have bought 2 more. They should come, I think, today or tomorrow. To put out, we have what's left of our woods in the back. I want to try to get them up into the trees so that it kind of looks like these floating things. If they look good from the road, I'll get a bunch more. If not, I'm not out anything. I'll just use them somewhere else. So yeah, we are shifting gears. Otherwise, that's about it. I've been working. I've been trying not to, depression sleep. I still take my medicine. I'm a good girl. But I have noticed, like, in the afternoons, I'm starting to get that, like, you just lay down. It's 3:30. Who's going to care? Who's going to care? I care. I care. And if you ever stood there and truly argued with yourself, you know how difficult this can be. So I am working on that. I think that is about it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes and even your dislikes. Yes, even the dislikes. But most of all, thank you for your comments. You are my community. I read them all. I try to respond to them as best that I can, even if that's just an acknowledgement. But yeah, I am thankful for that. And I'm thankful for all of you. Bye, guys.